There are moments in life when we begin to believe that luck belongs to other people. We watch others succeed, receive unexpected opportunities, and experience blessings, while quietly asking ourselves, when will my turn come? But what if the greatest change does not begin outside you? What if it begins with the words you repeatedly speak within your own mind? Words are not magic spells that guarantee wealth or lottery winnings. But words can shape your attention, your confidence, your decisions, and the way you respond to opportunities. When you constantly speak from fear, you train your mind to expect limitation. When you speak with gratitude, patience, and possibility, you begin to see life differently. I once heard a simple phrase that changed the way I approached uncertainty. I am open to receiving the good that life brings, and I will use it wisely. I began repeating it, not because I expected the universe to hand me everything I wanted, but because I wanted to stop living from desperation. I wanted to become calm enough to recognize opportunities instead of chasing them anxiously. Then something unexpected happened. I experienced several remarkable lottery wins over time. 6 wins became a personal story that I could never have predicted. Yet the deeper lesson was not the lottery ticket. It was what happened inside me before and after those moments that I learned that gratitude is more powerful than desperation. When you say, I have nothing, your mind searches for evidence of lack. But when you say, I am grateful for what I have and I am ready for what comes next, your attention becomes more peaceful and receptive. Try these words each morning. I release fear. I welcome possibility. I'm grateful for what I already have. I trust myself to recognize good opportunities. I receive with gratitude, and I use what I receive with wisdom. Say them slowly. Do not say them with greed. Do not say them while demanding that life obey you. Your words shape your mindset. Repeated words can influence your thoughts, confidence, expectations, and the way you respond to opportunities. Words have more power than we often realize. Every day, we speak to ourselves through our thoughts, beliefs, and repeated statements. Over time, these words can influence the way we see ourselves and the world around us. When someone constantly says, I am unlucky, nothing ever works for me, or I will never have enough, the mind can begin to accept those statements as reality. Fear becomes familiar, and opportunities may become difficult to recognize. But when we consciously change our inner language, something begins to shift, saying, I'm open to new possibilities, I'm grateful for what I have, and I trust myself to recognize opportunities does not magically guarantee wealth or success. Instead, these words can encourage a calmer and more confident state of mind. A peaceful mind is better able to think clearly, make thoughtful decisions, and notice possibilities that fear might have hidden. The important lesson is not to believe that words can control luck. Lottery results, for example, are determined by chance, and no affirmation can guarantee a winning ticket. The real power of positive words is that they can change the person speaking them. When your inner dialogue becomes hopeful instead of fearful, you may begin approaching life with greater patience and courage. You stop waiting for life to prove that you are fortunate and begin becoming prepared for opportunities when they appear. So choose your words carefully. Speak to yourself with gratitude, patience, and confidence. Let your words remind you that you are capable of learning, growing, and responding wisely to whatever life places before you. Sometimes changing your words is the first step toward changing your perspective, and your perspective can change everything. Replace fear with gratitude. Instead of constantly focusing on what you lack, practice gratitude for what you already have and remain open to positive possibilities. Gratitude has a quiet power because it changes what the mind chooses to notice. When we spend all our time thinking about what is missing, our attention becomes trapped in dissatisfaction. We may have opportunities, supportive people, useful skills, or simple moments of peace around us, yet we fail to recognize them because our thoughts are focused entirely on what we want next. Replacing fear with gratitude does not mean pretending that problems do not exist. It means refusing to allow fear to become the voice that controls every decision. You can acknowledge financial difficulties, uncertainty, disappointment, or setbacks while still saying, "There is something in my life that I can be grateful for today." This simple shift can create emotional space. Instead of desperately chasing a particular outcome, you begin responding to life with greater patience. You become less obsessed with controlling everything and more willing to notice possibilities as they appear. A useful practice is to begin each morning with 3 things you genuinely appreciate. They do not need to be extraordinary. You might be grateful for another day, a family member, a meal, a skill, a peaceful moment, or simply the opportunity to try again. Then say, "I release fear. I welcome possibility. I am grateful for what I already have, and I am ready to receive new opportunities with wisdom." These words are not a promise that money or luck will suddenly appear. They are a reminder to remain grounded and open-minded. When gratitude becomes a habit, abundance begins to mean more than money. It becomes an awareness that life already contains valuable things. From that awareness, you can make wiser choices, recognize opportunities, and move forward without allowing fear to define your future. Use powerful affirmations with intention. Words such as, "I release fear," "I welcome possibility," and "I am grateful for what I have" can help create a calmer and more positive mindset. There is a difference between repeating words and truly living by them. An affirmation becomes meaningful when it reminds you how you want to think, act, and respond to life. Words such as, "I release fear," "I welcome possibility," "I am grateful for what I have," and "I trust myself to recognize opportunities" can become a daily reminder to remain calm rather than desperate. The purpose of these words is not to control the universe or guarantee a particular result. No phrase can guarantee lottery winnings or instant wealth. Instead, powerful affirmations can help redirect attention away from constant worry and toward constructive thinking. When your mind is overwhelmed by fear, you may rush decisions, ignore useful information, or overlook opportunities. When your mind becomes calmer, you can observe more clearly and choose your actions with greater wisdom. Say your chosen words slowly. Do not repeat them mechanically. Think about each sentence and allow its meaning to settle within you. When you say, "I release fear," remind yourself that uncertainty does not have to control you. When you say, "I welcome possibility," remind yourself that tomorrow can contain opportunities you cannot yet see. When you say, "I am grateful," remember the blessings already present in your life. Then connect your words with action. If you want financial improvement, learn, plan, save, work, and make responsible decisions. If you want greater peace, create moments of silence and reflection. If you want new opportunities, remain willing to learn and step outside familiar patterns. Words can become powerful when they guide behavior. Let them strengthen your mindset, not replace practical action. Speak with hope, act with wisdom, and remain grateful for every step forward. Luck cannot be guaranteed. Lottery wins are based on chance. No affirmation, ritual, or phrase can guarantee a lottery victory. The deeper lesson is learning to recognize and act on opportunities wisely. One of the most important lessons about luck is understanding what we can control and what we cannot. Many people believe that if they discover the perfect words, ritual, number, or secret method, they can guarantee a specific outcome. But life does not work that way. Some events, including lottery results, are based on chance. No affirmation can force a winning ticket, and no positive thought can guarantee a particular financial result. Accepting this truth does not mean becoming hopeless. In fact, it can bring freedom. When you stop trying to control everything, you can focus your energy on the things that are actually within your influence. You can control how you prepare, how you spend your money, how you respond to setbacks, and whether you recognize an opportunity when it appears. Imagine 2 people facing the same uncertain situation. One becomes desperate and immediately makes an emotional decision. The other pauses, breathes, considers the possibilities, and chooses carefully. The second person may not control the outcome, but they have controlled their response. That is where the real power of a positive mindset exists. That If you enjoy playing the lottery, treat it as entertainment rather than a financial plan. Set a strict limit. Never spend money needed for essentials, and understand that repeated attempts do not create a guarantee of success. Wealth is more reliably built through skills, saving, responsible investing, meaningful work, and wise decisions. Luck may sometimes open a door, but wisdom determines what you do after the door opens. So instead of saying, "These words will make me win," say, "These words help me remain calm, grateful, and prepared." You cannot command chance, but you can strengthen yourself to meet whatever result comes. True abundance is bigger than money. Real abundance includes peace, wisdom, relationships, meaningful opportunities, gratitude, and personal growth, not just financial wealth. True abundance is much greater than money. When people hear the word abundance, they often imagine a large bank account, expensive possessions, or sudden financial success. But a wealthy life cannot be measured only by the amount of money someone has. A person can have very little and still experience gratitude, peace, meaningful relationships, wisdom, and joy. Another person can have great financial wealth and still feel empty, anxious, or constantly afraid of losing what they possess. This is why the deepest lesson behind changing your words is learning to recognize what is already valuable in your life. When you wake up and appreciate another day, you are experiencing abundance. When someone genuinely cares about you, that relationship is abundance. When you have the opportunity to learn from a mistake and try again, that opportunity is abundance. Money can certainly make life easier and provide important opportunities, but it should be treated as a tool rather than the definition of your worth. If financial success comes, receive it responsibly. Use it to create stability, help where appropriate, build useful skills, and make thoughtful choices rather than allowing it to responsibly. Use it to create stability, help where appropriate, build useful skills, and make thoughtful choices rather than allowing it to control your identity. A simple daily practice can help. Before sleeping, pause and name 3 things you're grateful for. Then ask yourself, what did I learn today? What opportunity did I notice? What can I do better tomorrow? These questions shift your attention from constant wanting toward growth and appreciation. Real abundance begins when you stop believing that your life has value only after you achieve a certain financial goal. You can pursue prosperity while appreciating.